Let's dive right in and unlock the new YouTube algorithm. Welcome to this investigative explainer. A massive silent update just rolled out, and it's practically changed everything for small channels. While some creators are completely stuck, banging their heads against the wall trying to break that elusive 1,000 subscriber mark, others are quietly leveraging a hidden shift to skyrocket to over 100,000 subscribers in just a matter of months. Today, we're pulling back the curtain to uncover exactly how this new system operates behind the scenes.
We've all had that ultimate 2 a.m. thought that keeps creators awake at night, right? You're lying there wondering, why do proven ideas just completely flop for small channels? Imagine you see a massive creator in your niche post a hit piece about their personal finances or their daily routine. It racks up millions of views. So you think, well, if it worked for them, it's going to work for me. You copy the format, you put in the grueling hours, you hit upload, and then absolute crickets. Look, copying the outlier hits of giants isn't a strategy. It's a trap. The harsh reality is that what works for a millionaire creator with a diehard audience will absolutely tank for a channel with 100 subscribers. That giant creator's audience already cares about them. They want that intimate look at what stocks they're buying. But a brand new audience, they don't care about your portfolio yet.
To really understand why that trap exists, we have to look at this massive paradigm shift. The old algorithm was, well, kind of robotic. It was purely a numbers game, strictly focused on your click-through rate and your average view duration. But the new algorithm, it focuses entirely on the viewers themselves. It tracks incredibly deep, hyper-specific human habits. The system literally knows if you're watching on your phone during your crowded morning commute or if you're kicking back in front of your living room TV. It even knows if, say, every Sunday night after 8 p.m., you go on a 3-hour conspiracy theory binge that you'll definitely regret on Monday morning. It's mapping human behavior at a microscopic level. And this brings us to a really profound realization. If you were to sit down and actually talk to YouTube's AI, it would legitimately tell you this exact quote. YouTube is a mirror to your audience's interest. That's huge. Your job is no longer to game or appease some robotic formula. Your job is to intimately understand your audience, right down to their late-night anxieties and their deepest desires. You have to reflect what they actually care about, instead of just blindly copying what the big dogs are doing. At the end of the day, the system is simply looking for the right piece of content to serve on a silver platter to a very specific person at a very specific time of day. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth do I figure out what my audience is secretly anxious about? Well, the secret weapon is probably right under your nose. You've definitely heard of standard ChatGPT or basic Google Gemini, but unless you're totally obsessed with the AI space, you probably haven't heard of Gemini's deep research feature. Actually, scratch that. It's not even just a feature. It's a heavy-duty investigative tool used by scholars, advertisers, and huge corporations. It actively scrapes through tens of thousands of comments, deep Reddit threads, and obscure forum posts where your audience is actually hanging out and venting. It completely bypasses generic advice and hands you the raw, unfiltered psychology of your exact viewers. So let's break this down into an actionable, step-by-step strategy. It's literally so simple to execute, but the results are just astonishing. First, you open up Gemini. Second, you click the little plus icon and navigate down to More Tools. Third, you select Deep Research. Finally, and this is absolutely crucial, you prompt the AI to find the burning desires and the specific pain points of your target audience. For instance, you might ask it to investigate small creators trying to hit their first 1,000 subscribers. Then you click Start Research and let the machine do all the heavy lifting across the internet while you sit back. When that research finishes, the emotional depth of what it uncovers is, frankly, mind-blowing. It doesn't just give you surface-level fluff. It finds deep psychological barriers. It uncovers the pure isolation of the creative journey, the sheer embarrassment of showing your friends your channel because you're terrified you look like you're trying way too hard and failing. It identified this idea of a cold start identity transition, basically the struggle of trying to legitimize yourself as a professional. And on the technical side, it pinpointed destructive habits, like falling into the sub-for-sub trap, using super generic visuals, having low contrast text that's hard to read, and dragging out intros with delayed payoffs. I mean, this is your audience's exact psychological profile, handed right to you. Armed with this, you can write scripts that speak directly to their soul. Okay, so once you have this foundational data, it has to dictate literally every creative choice you make moving forward, right down to the actual formatting of your content. You've got to adapt your script to match their preferred viewing device. If your deep research reveals that most of your audience watches your stuff on a mobile phone during quick bathroom breaks at work, you must craft shorter, punchier pieces. But if you find out they love watching on their smart TVs, maybe in the lazy afternoons after work, you need to stretch your legs a bit. You should be creating immersive 20 to 30-minute long pieces. You're simply matching the physical reality of how they consume media in their daily lives. But as we dig deeper into consumer behavior in this explainer, the hard evidence is just undeniable. Think about it. If we time traveled back just a couple of years, the homepage was completely dominated by traditional long-form content. Today, it's a wildly different landscape. Short-form vertical content has practically taken over the digital real estate. Just look at the sheer scale of this data shift. Back in 2021, Shorts had about 30 billion daily views. Today, in 2025, that number has exploded to over 200 billion daily views. And with the platform hosting over 2 billion monthly active users, this is a massive revenue opportunity. Creators are pulling in anywhere from 1 to 6 cents per 1,000 views on Shorts. If you capture even a tiny fraction of those 200 billion views, it adds up to life-changing money. It's simple. Adapt to this format or get left behind.
So the million-dollar question is, how do we actually balance this without totally destroying our channel's unique identity? Because you don't want to just blindly spam vertical content all day and pray for a viral hit. The system actually rewards an equal, healthy distribution across your entire channel. Right now, the golden ratio for explosive platform growth is 2-to-1. For every single traditional long-form upload you produce, you should be posting exactly 2 shorts. This 2-to-1 ratio keeps your content ecosystem perfectly balanced, and it satisfies the platform's ravenous desire to push channels that use multiple features. But wait, just tossing both formats onto your channel isn't the whole shebang. They actually have to work together. The technical missing link, the thing that really separates the amateurs from the pros, is funneling. Whenever you upload a short piece of content, you absolutely must use the related video setting in the backend to link it directly back to your longer content. This acts as a bridge. It literally turns every single casual short-form viewer into a potential dedicated subscriber. You are actively driving traffic through your entire channel ecosystem instead of just letting those views vanish into the void. To really wrap our heads around how all these moving parts come together, let's look at a relatable human narrative. Let's call this the tale of 2 hypothetical creators. Both are starting with brand new channels on the exact same day, trying to survive this fierce new algorithm. On the left, we've got George. George is the traditionalist. On the right, we have Jimmy. Jimmy is the analyst. Both of these guys want to get monetized fast, but as you'll see, their approaches are just worlds apart. The contrast in how they execute is staggering. George does everything the old-school way. He hunts down outlier videos with high views and low subscriber counts, completely copies them, and blindly follows standard guru advice. He hits upload and boom, the video flops completely. Jimmy, on the other hand, takes everything we've investigated today and puts it into action. Operating in the vegetarian cooking niche, Jimmy fires up the AI and finds a massive hidden pain point. His specific audience desperately struggles to get enough protein, and they want tasty, consistent meals. He also discovers they mostly watch YouTube on their living room TVs in the late afternoon. So what does he do? He makes a beautifully paced 20 to 30-minute TV-optimized video solving that exact protein problem. Then he chops out 2 quick, punchy clips from it and links them using the related video setting. The results? Jimmy's first major upload hits 100,000 views and his short-form clips pull in 300,000. This isn't magic. It's a real data-backed strategy that guarantees growth from day one. Which brings us to the ultimate, most crucial takeaway of our entire investigation today. The algorithm is not some mysterious, impenetrable black box written in code that you have to somehow trick or hack. The algorithm is simply a person. That's it. It's a digital reflection of human psychology, human desires, and human habits. If you can use these analytical tools to deeply and intimately understand the real breathing person sitting behind that screen, their specific pain points, the devices they use, their 2 a.m. worries, then you are going to grow incredibly fast. But listen, getting them to click and start watching your content, that's really only the first half of the battle. The true test of a master creator is keeping that audience totally captivated for the entire duration of the experience. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. How can you write for your viewers at such a psychologically deep level that you completely master viewer attention, keeping them absolutely glued to the screen until the very last second using a concept known as the Hemingway theory? That right there is the next psychological layer of content creation. And trust me, it's a topic that will permanently change the way you write your scripts. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. And remember, always keep questioning the systems around you.